Happy Monday, everyone. Just got done with the Cardano video. Cardano video. Now I'm doing our Bitcoin look. So really just kind of capitalizing on what we looked at last Friday. And I mean, we have just a series of continued rejections against these bearish continuation patterns, really confirming that overall move south. So, I mean, again, quick review. We had this broader ascending, a rising wedge, continued to retest it. Ultimately, it failed. Prices dropped. Then we had a bear flag, which I say always bothers me that I don't change the color. There we go. Bear flag, price dropped below it, retested, failed. And then we got into another on the hourly, if you remember. We got into another rising wedge. And over the weekend, we saw it drop down below, moved back up into it. But then as you look into today, really starting at midnight, Eastern Standard Time, we saw prices just kind of drop. I put a warning out about watch for a drop below 55K. And currently we're seeing some continued weakness against that zone. So watch for a drop below that zone because that could trigger a waterfall event with the first support structure being found at 49,500 and below that looking at 38K. So, I mean, we're in a much larger pattern now. If we can kind of get rid of these levels here and kind of ignore them, because you can see very clearly that we have a channel going on here. And because you could draw a trend line and negate these two tops here, whenever you see a channel like this forming, this is a broader bear flag. Always, I think, helps to use a regression trend line. Oops, didn't need to do that all the way over there. There we go. Okay, so this is where, or if you wanted to, you could even go over to here and connect those lows. Either way, still see that support structure sitting down here. Actually do prefer the first one I had, which is at the confirmation swing before it started to move. Okay, so there's, I mean, you could do it this way too. I don't know why I'm making such a point with this channel. It's really not the important thing. But there you go. That's how most people probably prefer to look at it like that. So this is a bear flag. Now, some people will say, well, look at this move here. Isn't that more of a bull flag? Not really, because the existing structure is more bearish from our prior all-time high down to here. This looks more like a continuation pattern to the south as opposed to one continuing up. Looking at the oscillators, things look kind of ugly. All right. The percent B, if you look at this, it crossed down below, and I don't know if you can see it very well, but thicker. This dotted line is the 0.8 level, so it crossed down below that, and it's sloping down. The composite index crossed below its fast average. It's about to dip below the slow average. I mean, it needs to visually do that and close like that. And then the RSI, if you look at the RSI, we did have some trend lines here before where we were looking at a warning sign of a break of this inverse head and shoulder, regular head and shoulder pattern as well. And because the percent B has moved below the 0.8, crossed under the 0.8 level, while the RSI is above 40, that means any break of structure around here means we are very, very likely to see it maintain and continue south. You will note, though, that if I scroll out all the way, this is just a part of a broader overall bull flag. This entire move here, very much part of a bull flag. So be on the lookout for that, because as bearish as the setup is, I mean, things are still bullish overall. Weekly chart for Bitcoin is actually showing a little evidence that it might have a crossover event and move higher. In fact, if we look at, well, we'll get into that later, but we'll later this week if something shows up. I don't want to get too far into things, but we'll leave it there. So what am I looking at here in the short term? I would be looking for first possibly an entry at 50,000 even. If price gets down there, I would say 51 or 50,000 or 51,000 even. You know, low risk limit buy down here with, and then resell when it comes up to test 54 or 55K. I think that that's a safe zone for me to look at. Ultimately, though, still looking towards a broader retracement down to that 38K value area. That's where I'd really like to see it go. But that does it for me. Be an exciting week. If we get some nice sell pressure throughout the rest of the week, that'll be great. You guys have a great rest of your Monday. Have a good Tuesday. Have a good start to your week. I look forward to speaking with you all tomorrow. From all of us here at Exchange Rates UK TV, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.